Okay, I guess I'm live now. Uh, my name is Christine or Red. Either way, I go by either. This is to let everyone know which way I am taking this. I know this is a very shoddy camera. I know, but this is just to explain where the channel's going. I don't like to edit. I don't like to sit there and script things, so it's going to be raw. Now, down below, there's a link to a GoFundMe account because for the last 12 years, I've been dating the same man. We consider ourselves married, and we would like to bring children into the world together. I already have two. My kids' names will never be released on this channel. Uh, if they don't want to have their picture on this channel, it's not going to be here. If I don't have their permission, not going to be here. If my husband doesn't want to be on this channel, guess what? He's not going to be here. I know this looks really, really crappy. I can see it. Uh, but at the same time, this is just letting people know where this channel is heading. I will be giving advice on co-parenting. I've been co-parenting now for 12 years, but technically almost 19 years because even if you're married, the same person that fathered your kids, you're still co-parenting. Same rules apply to all relationships with children. And I'm going to give you my story on what was going on. His story will be different. He has his own beliefs on everything. That's his thing. And you will never hear me say anything bad about my kid's father, his stepmom. They're wonderful people. We all have our disagreements from time to time, so it's all good. But you have to put your family first, your kids first, when you are dealing with co-parenting. And when you're doing co-parenting and everything, uh, when you're doing co-parenting, you have to take the kids first. Rule number one for me for co-parenting, and I had to learn this the hard way, is never say anything bad about the other parent because you are sitting there talking crap about someone that is half your child. So please keep in mind that this person is half your child. So don't say anything bad. It doesn't matter how you feel or how they feel, keep it kosher. If you can't talk to that person without getting frustrated, find a mediation. Um, I personally use my current husband. He can talk to my ex husband, no problem. Um, I really have no issues talking to his wife. So we use that because we know personally it's best for the children to get along. Because until that child is 18 years old, you have that other person in your life. Some people have them a lot longer than that. I have a 19-year-old and a 14-year-old. Yes, I've wanted more kids for a long time, but I can't naturally have them. So that's why I have the GoFundMe underneath, is to help me get to that point that I can have another child, which I will document the time it takes, as well as what I'm going through, what my husband's going through. I will tell you what my children feel. I will be covering all kinds of subject matter about this subject, and you guys also get to watch me lose a lot of weight. So yes, I know I'm fat. I will also be covering healthier diets. and ways to help you with your diet. I may be fat, but I'm actually healthy. I'm going to cover what I'm already doing to prepare for IVF, uh, and covering all kinds of family matters. I'll test things. I like testing things. I'll do all kinds of reviews on grocery shops, grocery shopping and stuff like that. I am not a couponer, but I can find really good deals on food. I don't have the time personally to coupon. So I will use that time to get everything explained. Currently, I am losing weight. I've lost 3 pounds in the last 2 weeks. What I've done is I've taken all processed sugar out of my diet. In other words, everything's from scratch, no fast food, which I don't like fast food that much anyway. Um, I'm not a big meat eater. I love my vegetables. I work at a hospital, um, so healthy food is a main concern of mine. I make sure my kids eat healthy. I make sure I eat healthy, and I make sure my husband eats healthy. But this is the first video. The reason I decided to do it live was because I'm a rambling idiot, pretty much. Plus, I figured this was the easiest way, even though this video will look a lot crappier than other videos, because after looking at this video quality, I will probably just switch to my phone, which keeps going off. I do have a fitness tracker. I do almost 20,000 steps a day, every day, 7 days a week. So for most of you thinking, oh, well, you're fat, so you don't walk that much, got news for you. I go up and down stairs all day. I take dogs for walks. I go for walks on my own. I work out in my house because Planet Fitness made me really uncomfortable because people would come and ask me, how do you work out and not sweat? Got news for you. It's kind of a health problem. If you don't sweat, there's a problem because you're not cooling off. Uh, but we'll go back to rules of co-parenting. As you know, the first rule is never talk crap about the other person. This goes for the parents, step parents, grandparents, family friends, anyone, period. You never talk bad about the other parent. You have to remember that that child is half you, half them, to come up with a whole child. So don't say anything bad about the other parent. It doesn't matter who you're talking to. Leave the other, if you have nothing nice to say about them, keep them out of your mouth. It will get back to the child, and it will make that child feel bad because you're sitting there talking bad about someone that they are half of. It takes two to tango. Come on, people. Uh, don't talk crap about the grandparents because it did take the grandparents also to make the child. Rule number 2, let your children make their own decision about the other parent. That's right, let them decide, not you. Your decisions on the matter do not matter. They have to decide for themselves if they want something to do with the other parent or not. If they're going to try to build that relationship, make sure you go, good for you. I'll help you any way possible. And do it. Don't go back on your word. Do what you have to do. Don't ignore the issues. If your child comes home from the other house saying, this happened, this happened, this happened, go and question the other person. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't do anything like that. Go ask the other person. Because I got news for you. Kids will try to play their parents against each other, separated or married. Kids will try to play their parents. And they'll try to play the step parents as well. So keep in mind that these things are important. Always care what your children think. Rule number 3, if you are getting separated from an individual, doesn't matter how old your children are, unless they're infants and really don't understand, but you might think of it later in life. And I'm talking still while they're a kid, and this has helped my kids out 150% as they've gotten older. They're very, very well adjusted. I got divorced, my daughter was 3, and my son was 8. Yes, there's 5 years in between them because I have issues. So there's 5 years in between my kids, but at the same time, I knew for a very long time while I was married that that relationship was not going to end well. My ex and I had promised that we'd be friends if we ever split up. Well, that didn't exactly happen. I try. I will never say anything bad or anything, but it's hard. Um, but I have put my kids first. The first thing I did when we split, which I knew for a long time that we were going to, is I put both my kids in counseling. My daughter was 3, and she was in counseling for her parents splitting up. My son was 8, and he was in counseling. This actually helped them a lot on being able to deal with the situation, being able to understand it had nothing to do with them. It had to do with mom and dad just went different ways. We just went different ways in life. And all I want is for him to be happy and me to be happy. I ended up getting with my best friend off the World of Warcraft, so there's a plug. I'm a little bit of a geek, uh, which is okay. My son's a geek. My daughter is a drama nerd. It's all good. You can't force your kids to like someone. So here comes rule number 4. And a lot of you parents are going to disagree with me with this, but I'll go better more into detail when I start doing videos, which will be one out this week, 1 or 2 out this week, 1 or 2 vlogs each week, and 1 live stream. Uh, Rule number 4 is if your children don't like someone and they are young, and I'm talking about minors, your choices on who you are dating and everything do matter to the child. If your significant other doesn't like your children or your children don't like them, you have to weigh the results. Sometimes kids will warm up to a person, but if they're not warming up, take your children's feelings first. My husband knows if my kids did not love him the way that they do, I wouldn't be with him. No matter how much I love him, they know I wouldn't be with him. Going behind your kids' back and having relationships and everything is not a good idea. You can cause some trauma to them because then they think you're just sneaking around and you really don't care that much. Um, so here comes rule number 5. Always be honest. Don't lie to your kids. I have admitted to everything bad that I have ever done to my kids. And I mean everything. That way they would learn from my mistakes. Because you don't want your kids going through the same problems that you did. I've told my kids, don't get married until after you're 25. That way you are ready for that kind of commitment. Because honestly, a lot of young people are not ready for that commitment. Don't take your relationships as a teenager or early 20s as, oh my God, this is the end. It will end in heartbreak a lot of times. Sometimes it doesn't, but a lot of times it does. Rule number 6 for me is don't force religion down your kids' throat. As they get older, it will cause issues. You may think, oh, I'm doing a good job taking my kid to church and everything, but church does not make a good person. There are a lot of churches that don't say the nicest thing about other people. My kids have always had a choice on what religion they are. My husband's Catholic. My ex-husband's Catholic. I'm neither. Uh, I don't believe in one God. I believe in multiple. I don't believe one person can control everything. I also don't believe anyone can be perfect. God, human, whatever. Nothing's perfect. That's why we have to work together to make everything better. It sounds screwed up, but it's true. People don't understand exactly a lot of things, but at least I have these rules to live by. There are more rules. I'm going to have to actually write them down, that way I remember them all. But the top rule is the most important, is don't talk crap about the other parent or grandparents or anyone really. Why be hurtful to anyone? I've had enough hurtful things said about me over the years. It's not going to bother me. But my kids are both very tenderhearted. My daughter does not want to hurt anybody's feelings at any time for any reason. She tries to act mean. She tries to act coy. She doesn't have a mean uh, bone in her body. Neither does my son. I raised two pretty good kids with the help of three more people: their dad, their stepmom, and their stepdad. And thanks to those three people, these children have turned out as well as they do, as well as they have. So I always have to say thank you to them, because everyone makes a difference. Every teacher a child has, every friend a child has, every friend you have, every family member you have in your life makes a difference. Now, if people like try to say that you're not doing good in your life because you're not doing what they deem necessary or anything, but know that you can always do your best for your family, and know that what their feelings and everything are more important than yours. You can get butthurt about this or whatever. That's fine. I am going to do very family friendly content, so I won't be talking like I normally do. No cuss words. I am going to filter that. I can think of a lot of things that need to be talked about on this channel. A lot have to do with how you're feeling, what you're doing, what can be done better. If anyone ever has questions, I'm more than happy to help you find the answer, look it up, give you my personal experience and everything. So if you need help, go ahead and ask for it. I have no problems uh, saying anything. I have no filter really. And it should be interesting. The changes you guys get to watch me go through, as well as things you get to watch me do over time. I will be losing weight. I will be taking care of a lot of issues. So it should be quite fascinating. I forgot to send out a thing before I started. So now I'm fixing that because, yeah, I'm crazy like that. So people are going to be coming in halfway in between the normal. now I have to check my, okay, now it's the husband. So now I'm answering him while I'm live streaming. Isn't that great? Because, yeah, I still answer him. So this is letting you guys know what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, what's changing, because on the channel right now, I have lots and lots of videos of my pets going crazy because my pets are kind of crazy. I have a cat that's behind me right now, a husky that's on the floor, a doxy that's on the floor, and I don't know where my daughter's cat is. That poor thing is so retarded. Uh, but okay, that got back. I'm doing this by myself right now. If my husband wants to join in, he can when he gets home off work. Right now, he is at work. My son's at work. My daughter's at school, and she's staying at her dad's until I think tomorrow night. That's if she stays there until tomorrow night. Your kids have to come first. Kids are the most important thing. I don't know any other way to say how important they are than to do this. I do have a degree in social services as well as psychology in adolescent. So I do kind of know what I'm talking about. I also know I do have a degree in nutrition. So what I'm saying is actually true. It is proven logic. I've been putting this stuff forward for the last 12 years of my kids' life. My son, when my ex and I first got divorced, he was, and my daughter only went to 4 or 5 sessions, but she was 3 years old when the divorce was finished. My son was 8, so he took a lot longer. But he slowly realized that the divorce had nothing to do with him, wasn't his fault, wasn't anybody's fault, really. Just two parents went different ways. Um, I am a very spiritual person. I said spiritual, I didn't say religious. I don't force my religion or my beliefs down anyone's throat. So it's just like keeping everything equal. A lot of people don't understand this, why I do this with my kids, because guess what? We're in America. We can do this. Freedom of religion. But we would appreciate your help if you could go to my GoFundMe, which is down there somewhere, and help donate to help us start the next part of this, which will be IVF treatments. So we go through all the cycles with you and everything else. You get to see me actually become an emotional wreck, which is very unusual for me. I am not the most emotional person. So it's going to be interesting. You also get to watch me lose about 100 pounds, give or take. So it's going to be interesting. Now we're going to my current diet to prepare for IVF. First step was to take out all added sugar. So I took out all added sugar. I have also lowered the carb intake that I normally do. And I've also lowered a lot of things just because, yeah, it had to be done. So far, in the 2 weeks that I took all that stuff away, I've lost 3 pounds. I really don't drink soda. I drink a lot of water. I took away coffee, which I love coffee. I took away iced tea because iced tea has too much caffeine. What I did was put me on my normal pregnancy diet, which that's where I take away everything artificial, everything that could be bad for baby. And I started doing that a couple weeks ago. Now, starting September 1st, instead of lowering my sugar intake, I'm going to a zero unnatural sugar intake. In other words, the only sugars I'm going to get are from natural foods, which this is a healthy diet. I have a friend that is a dietitian and she's helping me out with this. I cannot say enough about my friend who is the dietitian. She's great. She sends my daughter a ton of clothes, and my daughter loves her clothes. Give that. 14-year-old loving a 20-something's clothes. Yeah. So, first things first. And I've been doing a lot of research for the last 4 or 5 years on the IVF, which my husband and I finally made it to where we believe we can afford it and have another child. I did graduate from college last year, same year that my son graduated from high school. We graduated almost on the same day. I had a 3.98 GPA. I did very well in school. I worked very hard for my degree. Plus, I worked full time the entire time I was going to school. That way, I could show my kids you can change your life. Currently, I'm still looking for another job that pays more because my current job really doesn't pay me enough to do what I want to do in life. So I have to change some things. So I am changing things. I'm changing a lot of things, in fact. First one is for better IVF total, you really can't be overweight. And I've been overweight for a long time. It's very difficult for me to lose weight. So I do what's considered elimination. I eliminate things that might be causing me to gain so much weight because I am very, very active. In fact, it's driving me nuts sitting here for this long of a period of time. I don't like sitting. I would rather be standing, walking around, but I'm not right now because the best lighting is in my bedroom, on my bed. But for me, the best thing to do is to lose the weight, to make sure that I am the best health I've been in 20 plus years. Because when this child gets here, I don't want anything to hold me back. Nothing holds me back now, but at the same time, I am not built to be as big as I am. I went from, okay, one way to explain it is when I had my son, he was 8 pounds, 9 ounces. I walked out of the hospital at 98 pounds. I never want to be that skinny again. I want to get down to 120, 130, which is perfectly fine for a person of my stature. I am 5'3". Currently, I weigh 220 pounds. I am working out every day. I am going for walks every day. As I said, I walk almost 20,000 steps a day. I track it with my Fitbit and I track it with my phone. I also track what I eat, how much I eat, how many carbs I'm taking in, how many calories, sodium, everything else. I'm taking all of that into consideration every day. It is helping. Hi, how are you? But if you have questions, go ahead and ask. I have no problem answering the questions. But if you have any questions, just subscribe. That's good. I'm glad for you. I finally got somebody in the chat. Hello. I guess that's a good way to say it. But periodically, you'll still see pictures of my animals pop up because they do insane things, especially the husky loves to argue with me. My daughter's retarded cat finally made it in the room. Sure, just subscribe. I have no problems with being friends with anyone. It doesn't matter on race, religion, creed, sexuality. None of that should ever be judged. And I know my camera looks like shit. But if there's any questions about family matters, ask. Thank you. What else? Do you have any questions? Besides, can we be friends? Mhm. Oh God, all the animals are snoring. If you hear animals snoring, that's because they're all sleeping. Besides one that's licking your bottom. Scruff, what are you doing? This is the retarded cat. She rides the short bus. No Kiva. And this is why she rides the short bus. She is getting ready to battle the husky. And there's the husky. But health matters, food. Come here. Say hello to Kiva. Sure, I'll be doing live streams once a week. Uh, this week I'll do another one on either Saturday or Sunday. And the next one will either be on a Friday or Monday. He's very much into his mommy. And then I'll have videos posted periodically of me vlogging from my phone throughout the week. Always different subjects. This is just covering a bunch of different stuff because I'm taking my channel in a different route. And today is, I figured, the first, so no makeup, no contacts, and just dressed in my favorite Leave Me Alone. What do you want my mail address for? And you do realize I'm married, right? I still have to get a P.O. box because they say that's safer, so that'll be coming soon enough. But my physical address, I can't give out for the safety of my kids and my husband and myself. I think you understand that, right? But I can tell you I live in Oklahoma. Oh, you didn't like that. Too bad. Nope, not going to give out certain information. Sorry. That's not the kind of girl I am. Okay. Well, I guess that ends the first session. Click and subscribe if you want. And I will start on the next video that will be not live streamed. It will be a vlog about something. Okay. Have a great day, guys, and see you next time. Oh, I'll be around. I've had this channel for going on 8, 9 years. So I'm just taking it in a different route than it was. So people actually get to see me. This is the first time I've actually been seen on YouTube. And I know my video quality is crap. So click and subscribe if you want. Share the video. I know I ramble. Bye. Have a good day. And bye-bye, all.